All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Quarantine Cuisine with Mr. Mostacho. I am Mr. Mostacho, and tonight we're going to make a spicy chicken stew called chicken Tinga. So let's take a look at the ingredients. Of course, we're going to start with the chicken. We've got 2 links of chorizo here. I've got a little Mexican oregano. There'll be salt and pepper, of course. We've got a can of whole peeled tomatoes, 3 garlic cloves, 3 ancho chilies, 3 guajillo chilies, and some onion and cilantro and lime. We'll probably use most, if not all, of this stuff. So let's start cooking. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to clean up these chili peppers. You want to rip the top off, and then I like to use a paring knife here to kind of slit down one side of it, because we're going to take out all the seeds and the veins in here. You could leave them in, but it would be spicy as hell. So I'm going to get these out of here because we're going non-spicy. This isn't your typical chicken Tinga, which would have chipotle chili peppers. We're going to leave those out and use some red peppers instead. So that's not hot and spicy. So there it is. There's your cleaned pepper, open and ready to be rehydrated. So I'm going to get these other things done. I got some water boiling on the stove. See you soon. Okay, so I took the dried chilies and I put them in a pot of boiling water. And I'm gonna let them sit in there for 30 minutes to rehydrate. I'm gonna put this bowl on top to kind of hold them down. And in about 30 minutes, we'll blend those up with some tomatoes and other stuff and make a sauce. Okay, so we got these chicken thighs. It looks like there's 4 of them. And I'm just gonna throw them in some salted water and boil them for 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'll probably boil them for like 20 and then let them sit in the hot water and get nice and cooked. And then we'll pull it out and we'll shred it. Conceivably, you could throw like an onion or some garlic or some bay leaves or whatever the hell you wanted to make a nice broth or whatever, because we'll use some of that probably. But I'm just gonna boil them in salt water. It'll be fine. Okay, great. So we've got our chilies that have been rehydrated, and we're gonna pull these out of here. It's a little warm, but I think I'll be able to do it. And put them in the blender jar. Get all these guys in here. Got 2 types of chilies. Fortunately, no chipotles. Okay, now if we come over here, I've got 3 cloves of garlic that I'm gonna chop up nice and coarsely into pieces for the blender here. Toss those in and do the same with the onion. Okay, get a little bit of onion in there. All the onion in there. All right, every last onion. All right, we'll probably use some of this onion still. Okay, so a can of tomatoes. I've been kind of torn on how much of this can to use, but I think we've got enough meat that this whole can will work. So I'm gonna just dump that in there. You know, if you can get fresh tomatoes after the apocalypse, then you can go with those. That there. Okay, so then we'll do a little Mexican oregano. Well, that's about, what, a teaspoon or something. Crunch that up in there. Nice. Very nice. That's the good stuff. That's what makes it Mexican right there. All right, and some salt. About a pinch. And what else do we need? I think that's it. Oh, and some, so the least amount of water possible. I'm going to use some of this. I could use some of the chicken broth as well, but you know, I think I'll use the chili water. So that's probably a cup. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll add more. Okay. So now's the time on Senor Mostacho's Cochina de Quarantena that we blend. Here we go, baby.
Blend.
So it looks like, I think we should be blended enough by now. And you can kind of see the consistency. I didn't have to add any more water. That's probably just about perfect. Because now what we're gonna do is boil this sauce in hot oil, which I happen to have over here. Watch out, this is gonna get rude. So I got some seriously hot smoking boiling oil in here. We're just gonna pour it in and we're gonna cook it for, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes. We're gonna stir it. We're gonna keep stirring it. We're gonna try and reduce it a bunch. So let's see what happens. Watch out. Holy shnikes. Because the idea is you're gonna like emulsify the oil into the sauce. Oh, it's burning the eyes. Can you feel it? That's pretty good. All right, I'm guessing by the consistency this will cook for 5 to 10 minutes before it's ready to go, before it's ready to get dumped on top of the next ingredients that I'll show you in a second. So let's stir this and boil this 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's sausage time. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chop some onions up. And the idea is that you can still taste these onions and feel their texture in this goop we're about to make. So I'm not gonna cut them super small. I'll cut them kind of like that. I've seen people do them in like half moons or quarter moons. This is sort of just a rough chop. So we're gonna take these onions, and since I got some oil bubbling behind me, I'm gonna dump these bad boys right in there. All right, excellent. We're gonna kind of swirl those around, get those coated, let them fry a little bit because that's pretty hot. And now we're gonna come back here and really quickly, I'm gonna open up these sausage casings. This is my chorizo, quote unquote. It's actually like Hillshire Farm Italian sausage. But in a crunch, in an apocalypse, this stuff's gonna do good. So take off the casing, toss it in there. Do the same with the second one here. Take off the casing. Toss this bad boy in the hotness. All right, and now I'm going to, I think I find my spoon. I'm going to start chopping up the sausage. So you're going to want to break up the sausage like this, get it all mixed up with the onions, and I got my temperature on pretty high. I'm stirring it. I'm not worrying about anything sticking too much. I want to just make sure that the sausage is as broken up as possible. Start smelling like sausage and onions in a second. There we go. All right, so we'll cook this for, 8, 10, I don't know how long it'll take for the sausage to cook, but I'll tell you when we come back in just a few moments. Okay, so through the magic of time, in about 7 minutes, I'd say this is what the sausage and onion mixture looks like. From here, what we're gonna do is take our reduced chili tomato sauce that we got to about this lovely consistency. This is basically an enchilada sauce, honestly. So these are more like enchilada tinga. We're gonna take this sauce and we're gonna pour it into the sausage and the onions like so. Oh, and make a major mess. And now this we're gonna let cook, we're gonna let this cook until all the flavors are melded together. What are you laughing at me? So get all that good chili juice in there before it's all over. Before it's too late, you know. Okay, that's good. That's a good chili juice right there. Okay, so we're gonna mix the sauce in with the sausage and onion mixture. Probably cook that for, I don't know, 10, maybe even less than 10, maybe a little more than 10, 10, 15. Let's say 15 to 7 amount of time. We're gonna get it nice and thick. And now let's add our shredded chicken. Okay, so we've shredded our chicken thighs. That's what 4 assorted size of chicken thighs look like. And we're gonna add those directly into our sauce. And like I said, you know, somewhere between 7 and 15 minutes, I would say. Depends on how hot. If I cook it really hot and stir it, it'll probably take less. But if I wanted to kind of slow simmer it, it would take a little bit longer. It's just basically, at this point, this thing's done. You know, you're just gonna want to cook it and make sure it's not too runny so it won't drip out of your taco or your burrito or your torta or your tostada or your huarache or your tamale or any other kind of vessel for a delicious filling such as this. So, yeah, I got a feeling this will take under 10. So, see you in under 10. All right, so it's been more than 10 minutes, I'd say, probably closer to 15 on the fire. And then we let it sit for another 10 while we took the garbage cans out. Played with the dog a little bit. But this is your finished product. It's pretty thick, kind of gooey. It's exactly what you want. There's onions in there, there's sausage in there, there's all that shredded thigh meat. All right, so then if we come over here, we're getting a couple tortillas ready because we're gonna be making tacos tonight. But this could fill a burrito, a tostada, a gordita, a bolillo. How about a flauta? Maybe a chimichanga. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Look forward to videos in the future with this filling. So let's put these tacos together. Okay, so we got a couple tacos set up here, and what I'm gonna do from here, it looks like, is put a little cilantro, a little more cilantro, and some onion slices. There we go, a little white onion to spice it up a bit. And of course, you can't go wrong with a squeeze of lime on something like this. All right. And man, we had some crema last night that we spent on, what were we eating last night? Like bean and cheese burritos. We had a little steak. So the crema's gone. Otherwise, I'd be putting crema on this too. All right, so I think they say buen provecho. Thank you for joining me tonight on, what do we call this? Quarantine Cuisine with El Mostacho. I'll see you next time. Oh my God, that's fucking delicious. Good one.